take phone calls live at 877-853-5247. Meeting ID is esports extra. That is 377-678-987-2. Once again, meeting ID esports extra 377-678-9872. Hit the pound button twice to join the show. Larry Ridley here, a little SNY TV, a little NBA Sports, a little Mad Info, a little NBA 2K League. Got the Broskis today. A little big three in trouble today. A little 3-on-3 action. Go overseas and play the other 3-on-3. What's his name? Cal Montgomery. That's his name. I should know that. We got the same agent, but yeah, he does the NFL Network and the other 3-on-3. So shout out to Cal Montgomery out there. Dagwood, what's up, bro?
What's up, man? I'm good.
You
How
good?
are you?
You look tired. Look like you've been working all weekend.
I'm tired. yeah, all weekend. Yeah, watching and talking about man football.
Good news, man. The check came today, so
watching kids.
Checking money is always good news.
Watching kids lose their mind. You know what I'm saying? Making bad decisions.
7:45, lose my mind. Biscuits, gravy, baby. What's up, OG? You out there with them dating flyers? What's up, man?
I'm good. I ain't got no check coming in, but I'm good.
Oh no, you got checks.
You got checks, man. You better stop that.
I've seen them sponsors. I know
Mr. Barclays.
I know it.
No, I'm good. Happy to be here, man.
Yes, sir. I like that sweatshirt. Now that right there. Yeah, that gets the fire emoji. I can rock that right there, man.
Yeah, this is my favorite. This is my favorite for real.
I want a hood on it.
Looks warm too.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, they got one with a hood. I got a black one, a gray one, and then this crew neck. Yeah, this was the best thing they put out this year to me.
Sure. No, I like that. You give me a black one, a gray one like that, man, and we'll actually be friends. We'll be boys. Dagwood, you in Carnoustie? Right,
Canarsie, Brooklyn.
Okay.
Was extremely cold outside.
Better friend,
yes.
Right? It's cold outside.
Man, it's cold outside. You
30 degrees.
It's been cold all damn day.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah,
it's 30 degrees.
Yeah,
Hudson Hawk.
Yeah.
Man, that hawk outside waiting on you.
Yeah, it's a brick. As they like to say, it's a brick out there.
Yeah, right.
No,
the
dude.
hawk.
Yeah, it's cold outside, dude. Straight up, real tough. So we'll get started here, guys. You're watching here, twitch.tv/compete forever. YouTube.com/compete, the number 4 and ever. And also on Facebook, facebook.com/compete forever. We're talking NBA. We'll get to James Harden. Washington, the football team, got a huge win over the Steelers last night. We'll get into that. Bills beat the 49ers. We'll talk about that. National Hockey League. We don't really talk a whole lot of ice capades and pucks on this show, but we're going to get into some NHL and with the esports, the gaming and YouTube personalities. Not Jake Paul, but Logan Paul. It is true. He is slated to fight Floyd Mayweather, Money Mayweather. And once again, we're talking about the size difference. I'll get you guys' take on it, but these Paul brothers are like, they're bigger than the dudes they're fighting. A lot bigger, dude. I remember I was saying that last week. I'm like, dude, Nate Robinson is not a big guy. I mean, he's an athlete, but when you got 30, 40, 50 pounds on somebody, 4 or 5 inches, like, you should have a shot, right? I don't know. We'll get into that. And then, of course, C4 on Black News Channel this weekend, episode 28. Fresh off the Madden League playoffs and Super Bowl last week. NBA 2K for University of Pittsburgh, Johnstown. All right, let's get started. James Harden not reporting to camp, as Coach K was talking about in the pre-meeting. He's hanging out with Lil Baby. Was at another party. I was in Atlanta. I think he was at his party, his birthday party. I was at another event out, in public and socially. In Vegas, if I'm not mistaken. So his boys are at practice. I know John Wall and everybody at practice with their new head coach, Coach Silas. And Harden is not there. Harden wants to be traded to, of course, the Nets. He did open up to the Sixers and other contenders. You guys' thoughts here on James Harden not reporting, man. You don't really see this a lot where it's got a little bit of the NFL feel. Like he's like, just the hell with it. I ain't reporting to camp. We'll start with you, OG. You don't see this in the association, man, a whole lot, right?
No, I mean it's interesting because James has made a ton of money in NBA contracts and in shoe contracts. So obviously money is not the thing. You look at it, he's been in the league 10 going on 11 years now, and he hasn't sniffed the finals in a while. And now, he wants to go to a contender, but I think I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, I would, you never recommend this or anything, but you see other, like LeBron he hasn't always gouged the teams for money. He allowed room for them to be able to build championship teams. And Harden, I mean, he definitely he hasn't done that. So like now, I think he's desperate to win, and it's I think it's eating at him. I mean, but you're making almost 40 plus million a year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much help you can get on the roster when you eating that, every year. I mean,
You can get one
so
guy. You can get one guy like the Lakers. You can get one good guy.
yeah, but I mean, but also his style of play too. I mean,
Sure.
there hasn't been what has made him great doesn't always invite other talent. So I think it's gonna be a rough road to climb for the Rockets. I hate it for Silas. I mean, he get his shot to become a head coach, and boom, this is what you have to deal with right out the gate. But I, I, I don't know. I mean, I see you open up to Philly, but I don't think. I just wonder, like, does that really help your chances? I mean, more than where you already at, because I don't know that roster. I mean, I just don't see it. I mean, I think he's put himself in a hard spot to climb out
Mhm.
of to try to compete for a championship.
Well, I mean, you think about it, Derwin. The Rockets, this franchise has tailored everything to James Harden. Literally everything. So he knows this. But OG brings up a good point. He's eating up 40 plus million. He just had a guy on the team that was worth 40 plus $1 million. There's not a whole lot. Look, they can bring in one good guy, and they just did with John Wall, who's going to be eating up around 40 plus million. You're in a
Right.
small team. You embraced it. You want the ball in your hands. You want to shoot 30 shots a game. It is what it is. Now you get older in your career. You want to win, but really, do you want to win? You know what I'm saying? Your thoughts on this?
I don't think these guys want to win. And first off, I could have sworn I saw something today that said he did show up. So that's what I was just looking for. I don't know if you guys heard anything about that. Him did popping up today, but him and Westbrook.
Yeah, but I mean, but
I don't
also
think
his
these guys
style of
really
play
want to win.
too.
I
I
think they
mean,
want to make their money. A lot of these athletes want to make that money, but do they really want to win? Are they going to make some of the sacrifices it's going to take to get guys around them so they can win, to have a winning program? You see what you got to go up against. It's in LA. You know what you're matched up against, how to get to the promised land, get to the top. You got to go through the Lakers.
Mhm.
So what are you going to do to help your team want to win games? And
Yeah, he
OG,
did real quickly. He did report to camp according to
okay,
Woj a couple hours ago.
okay,
Missed 2 days, but he did report
okay,
today, so that is true. So he
yeah,
didn't stay away too long, just a couple of
yeah.
days.
I thought I saw it, but I couldn't find it. But I'm glad you clarified that. So he did show up. You know what I've been thinking about all day, and I know it might take us off topic, and we don't want to do that. But you know, in Brooklyn, we saw two guys co-sign for a particular coach. They co-signed on it. They brought that coach in. Didn't have any coaching experience, and people are on board with that. I'm kind of interested in how we feel about a new coach in Houston getting his first shot, African American coach, and the two premier guys that are there won out.
mm,
That's a question for me. How do you guys feel about that? That your two stars, two huge stars in the NBA, they went out. So what is this coach going to have to deal with? I mean, to work with, you know?
Well, Silas did say today that he he did say he knows why James Harden was out, but he said you're going to have to ask him, and he's going to have to offer that sort of explanation. That tells me it wasn't a good explanation. So let James speak on that. But you're absolutely right. What can you put around? And not only that, what are these teams? Look, you're going to be trading for a guy that's making 40 plus $1 million. That's eating up a lot of your cap. That's
Mhm.
probably damn near a third of your cap, probably in the NBA, maybe even a little more than that. So what can you offer up? If you got to give up assets and draft picks, which is what look, the Rockets going to want the world.
Right.
You need some sort of long-term investment from Hardman and commitment from him. So it's a sticky situation all around, and I don't know if it can be worked out in a couple of days. But you know how most of these teams are. They've been talking and willing and dealing with agents and things of that nature for weeks on end right now. So that's kind of where I'm at on that. I just don't know where he can go. I mean, and not only that, when you open yourself up to a trade, it's kind of hard to say this is the spot I want to go.
Right.
You might have to go where they can afford you and where they
Right.
can give us access.
Exactly.
And then on top of that, do you want to? It's kind of saying you don't want to be there. You're a new head coach. You want guys to buy into your program. Is he going to buy into their program when he really doesn't want to be there? So I think it puts the new coach in a bad position. You know?
Well, it does. And if you're Silas, you're like, okay, that's cool. I'll have a bad team. Now I go to the to the ownership. Like, I need 3 to 4 years bare minimum. Yeah, y'all left me with this, really?
Yeah.
So
how am I going to compete in the West?
Right. How are you going to compete? Period.
Yeah, when you look at players like Harden, though, I mean, veterans, I mean, superstar status, I mean, you almost think he probably needs to play for a veteran coach somewhere, somehow, some way. I mean, because a young coach, I think with everything that's going on, I don't think he stands a chance. It's unfortunate, but I just don't see it.
I don't think he's into winning.
No, I think he does want to win, but are you really? No. Look, everybody in the NBA wants to win. But there's a line like, are you willing to sacrifice and give up to win? That's the key. Like LeBron ain't sacrificing a damn thing. You don't see LeBron giving back nothing. There are guys. I mean, AD ain't giving back no money, is he? So you can win and make money. You just got to be in the right situation. Not everybody can be. That's the problem. There's only 30 teams. All 30 teams can't be financially solvent and healthy and have a great, administration and organization. Not everybody can be that. You got to have haves and have not. So
doesn't it say something that Harden was supposed to be like one of his best friends? Then he's like, I'm good.
Who, James? I mean, you talking about Brody?
I mean, yeah, Westbrook. I'm sorry.
Westbrook? Yeah. Well, Westbrook's bailed on a couple of people now.
Yeah.
That's true.
And Westbrook has said repeatedly, like, I am who I am. I ain't changing me. So that already tells me, okay, he's
Wait,
him.
he bailed on OKC? Not really, because Paul bailed him first.
Well, I mean, but
he left him first.
Like he's had at least 3 different opportunities where he's had other superstars around him, and it hasn't lasted very long.
Yeah, at some point with Westbrook, I mean, you've never seen an MVP get shipped around this much, so it's on him at some point.
And by the way, I love his game. I love Westbrook, the way he plays and competes. But his game is just not conducive to winning.
Is he like the Cam? Is he like the Cam Newton of NBA?
we ain't got enough time.
Next subject.
Well,
I mean, Westbrook might be a Hall of Famer though.
Moving on.
You can dig on Cam all you want. Those dudes up in New England love them some Cam.
They do.
And they can love him.
Well, I mean, look. We're not calling him the greatest quarterback of all time, but there's something to be said about being liked by your peers.
Yeah. There's things that I like about Cam.
It's not.
Yeah. Those dudes love him.
It's not official until he gets a Subway deal.
Well, I mean, Cam's a funny dude.
Yeah. So, but I mean, just keeping it off the field, like, and just intangibles, like, they love him. Like, no cap, they love Cam. We're not going to talk about his style and the 69 yards last week, all the other stuff. But he's got like 12 rushing TDs this year. So
rushing is what he does. He should.
That's like the 3rd time he's done that in the NFL. So I mean, look, and it's all about. So if you add the TDs and the passing TDs, he's got like 16, 17 TDs. That's all right.
Imagine if he couldn't run. What would he be?
He'd be working at a 9 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
He'd be at Dunkin' Donuts in Boston right now, parking the car.
Krispy Kreme? I don't know.
Hat salesman.
We'll go to the NFL. Washington football team. I did not see this coming. Now, in all fairness, they got the win over the Steelers last night. I believe it was by 6, right? 23-17. Steelers played 3 games in 12 days. No excuse.
No excuse. I don't want to hear it.
No, I'm not gonna. I'm just putting. Those are facts. I'm not even. I'm not. Look, Washington deserved to win that game, just like, Coach Tomlin just recently said. No excuse. They deserve to win that game. Hell, Washington. I mean, Pittsburgh could have lost the last game when they barely beat a beat up Baltimore team at home by 5 points. Can Washington be a threat in the NFC East? I was for the last 2 weeks. I was saying, oh, Giants. Look at their schedule. It's a lot easier than the Giants. And Alex Smith is playing well. I thought there was no way in hell he could have played at the beginning of the year because when I even watched him in practice, I'm like, oh, that leg looks gimpy. Don't put him out there. Give him a couple more months. Let that thing get stronger.
His leg was bleeding in the game.
Yeah, well, and you know what? They gave it, the proper attention. He was back out there. It's the defense, though, man. That defense is
Yeah.
sort of nasty.
Yeah. What did I say at the beginning of the year when we talked about Washington football team? The story, they were going through all this turmoil and all this stuff in the front office, and everybody's fixated on the name change.
Yep.
The one positive thing that was sitting there, the story was Alex Smith. Because Alex Smith is the best quarterback on that. He's not a great quarterback, but he's the best quarterback on that roster.
He's been a Pro Bowler.
And I knew at some point in time he was going to play because that Haskins kid is not the answer. And the insurance policy was coach's backup that he brought from Carolina.
Allen, right?
Yeah. Was it Kyle Allen?
Mm-hmm.
That was the
I was
issue.
going to say Brandon. I was going to say Brandon Allen, but he's up in Cincinnati. It was
Right.
another Allen, but it's Kyle Allen. Yes.
Kyle Allen was the backup to Cam and with the Panthers. So that was the insurance policy. But Alex Smith, him stepping back on that field and playing, he's going to be the comeback player of the year. And that was the story because I felt that he was the best backup they had on that roster. And well, 3 weeks ago, one of my friends from college, she's a diehard Washington football fan. She posted on Facebook, who could get, because at the time, all those teams had like 3 wins. She said, who could get to 6? And I said, and I looked at the schedule, I said, Washington.
Yeah.
They laughed at me.
The winner's going to get to 7. The winner's going to get to about 7 because they're
Right.
both 5 and 7, right? 4 games left. I think bare minimum you have to split the winners division. So I was saying 7. Hell, I think you even threw out 8. I'm like, yeah, maybe.
Right.
Somebody might get the 8, you know?
Well, 6 was the number, but I didn't see them beating the Steelers.
Mhm.
And now that team kind of scares me.
Didn't see the Giants beat the Seahawks.
Right. And right now, I'll be honest with you,
What about your
that
team?
game,
What happened to your team?
my team got problems. But
He admitted it.
no, I'm worried about, we got to play them in a couple of weeks. That ain't no gimme the way we've been playing. So that Washington football game, we got to play with Seattle. It's not a gimme. But not in a million years did I think we were going to lose to the Giants, not with Colt McCoy. And what was disheartening to me,
starter in like 6 years.
and it wasn't, he made some plays, but for us to get run through like the Giants were running the football against us, it's utterly disgusting.
You can't lose a game to Colt
Wayne
McCoy.
No, you
Gallman.
can't.
Last time he started was last year. I believe his QBR against the Patriots was like a 15. They got beat by like 26 points. That's what you're supposed to do to a team that has Colt McCoy.
Right.
Don't play around, smack around, beat them 33-7, and keep it moving.
Get him out of there. And we offensively did nothing, 5-0 at the half, and we deserve what we got.
Kept them
But,
around. Absolutely.
But going back to Washington, they got a shot to win the division. They got
OG.
a really good shot.
What do you think? Who you got in the NFC East? You got WFT and not what the it's or the G-Man. Or maybe Philly goes on a run and maybe wins 3 out of their last 4, maybe.
Hurts.
I hope not. I mean, I'm
We'll
a
talk
G,
about him tomorrow.
I'm a G man, but so I mean, while everybody was excited, I mean, because in these parts where I live at, it's a diehard Pittsburgh Steelers fan, so they was going through it after that defeat, but I was really upset because now it's putting them in contention to knock the Giants out of the way. I mean, I think the NFC East is showing that it's just been a beat 'em up conference this year. I mean, and it's typically been like that in the NFC East. I mean, you have some years where, of course, Dallas, Philly, when they're playing well and they're on top, everything's golden. But they still have dogfights within the NFC East. So let's think this year the records have been horrendous, but you still getting effort night in and night out. And I think if one thing about it, we don't put points up on the board like that in the NFC East, but we're gonna play defense. When I think more than ever. I always expect the NFC East teams to go out and play hard defense, but even when they struggling to score, because in these games, it's not like they won 23-17. It ain't like they lit up the scoreboard doing that.
Nothing too.
Yeah, and even with the Giants, we didn't like 17 points. We didn't light up the scoreboard beating Seattle. So I think they come out and play hard-nosed defense, manage the game, and manage to put a touchdown here or there with some field goals. I think they got a shot, but I mean, I still want to have hope in my Giants. Although, like Derwin said, the Washington football team's schedule probably plays more in their favor than the Giants, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
I think the Giants are slightly better, but I think WFT, man. I think football team's going to take this division, man. Because just take a look at their schedule. You look at who the Giants have to play and the Redskins have to play.
Ooh,
Oh boy.
put in the job, baby.
Oh boy. I don't have any money on me. Back on it.
I, I know the longer we talked about it, we
I
ran the
know,
risk.
man. It's funny because I never say San Diego. That's why it's so frustrating. None of us ever say like San. Well, I mean, I never say San Diego. Oh man, because you know why? The Washington football team, it's one of those top 5 franchises when it comes to brands. You know what I'm saying? That's why. The Chargers are probably bottom 5. Hell, maybe even bottom 2 or 3. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sorry, guys. All right, we'll keep it moving. We'll see about that. So who you guys on? You got G-Man? I know OG got G-Man to win. We'll keep an eye on this. NFC East. Who you got, Dorman?
Washington.
Me too. WFT. I didn't do it that time. Coach K, who you got?
You know what? Washington, because at this point, they probably have the best quarterback in the division.
They do.
No, I wouldn't
They do.
go that far.
They do. Who's better than Alex Smith in that division?
I think
Colt McCoy?
I think it'd be cool if Hurts.
Well, I mean,
Hurts?
Hurts,
look,
he ain't seen none from Hurts.
I mean, well, look,
and I ain't betting on him.
That's true. But Dak is better, but he's hurt. And Carson is when he's got his head on straight, but he doesn't.
We talk about guys that are playing right now.
Right now,
Alex Smith, man.
no, give me Daniel Jones.
He's
injured. I'm saying right now.
He's gonna play. He might play this week. Oh, right now, Alex Smith. Yeah,
Yeah, right now.
I mean,
McCoy. Yeah.
See, the thing with the Giants with me, when Daniel Jones was there, they'll play good football, but they never play 60 minutes.
Danny
And he'll turn the ball over. He'll fall down somewhere. He fumbles the ball.
Yeah.
He always does something.
All right. Bills beat the 49ers. Great win last night. Josh Allen.
Man.
Damn, he looked good last night. Stephon Diggs, route running machine out there, man. Top end of the route, dude. Beautiful the way he gets in and out of cuts. Got a 10-point win over the Niners. Bills now 9-3. Don't know if they'll get a bye, but hell, they could be a 3 seed probably. Probably won't even be a 2 seed because still behind KC and Pittsburgh. That's a good team right now. They're going to win the AFC East likely. They're 1 game ahead of the Dolphins. How impressed are you with the Bills? Can they really make a run? And when I say make a run, I mean at least win a playoff game, maybe get to an AFC championship game. No one thinks they're going to get to the Super Bowl, but can they beat can they beat like a Pittsburgh or somebody in the second round and in the division round and maybe go to KC and put up a fight in the AFC championship game?
I think they can. Up until they're inconsistent to me. I mean, when Josh is playing like that, Josh Allen's playing like that is very impressive. I kind of question the defense a little bit. I'm just kind of looking at the standings right now, the bracket. You know, if they play,
the AFC is the stronger conference right now. But none of those teams scare me. Not even Kansas City's playing well right now.
But I still think Kansas City could go any blue way and beat anybody.
Yes, they can. But if those 2 through 7, if I'm New England, Tennessee, Indianapolis, who the hell are you afraid of? Who are you afraid of? None of them. None of them. You think Belichick is shaking in his boots to go play Pittsburgh or Buffalo?
Why is Belichick in this conversation? They're not a playoff team.
Because I think they're going to make it. They're going to make it.
You wishing on a star, brother.
45-0. 45-0. The quarterback threw for 69 yards. 45-0.
That you know what that is? That is a great Hall of Fame head coach with a great plan for a young stud, and he got him. That's what that is.
A great Hall of Fame coach. It's like knowing is half the battle, brother.
Yeah.
And
the Chargers don't play no defense anyway. All that guys are hurt.
They
guys are hurt.
They got Bosa and stuff. Look, they've lost a lot of games by like less than a touchdown all year. They were favored in that game. But they just got skull drug.
Yeah.
No, but go ahead, finish your point on the Bills real quick.
You know, the Bills, they're a good team, but I question their defense at times. Sometimes Josh Allen, he looks good at one point, and then next time he misses wide open guys. But last night he was on fire. And just looking at if they played today, if the playoffs started today, they would be the 3 seed and they would
Yep.
play the Miami Dolphins.
Yep.
They could win that game.
Dolphins 8-4. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they, the other teams that I think that are really good that you have
Then
to.
they would probably they'd have to probably go to Pittsburgh, which either one of those teams could win that game.
Yeah, because Pittsburgh got a. I think they might play this year. Do they play this year?
I don't know.
Well, Pittsburgh, good defensively.
I know Miami has Kansas City this week, so that'll probably be a loss. And if New England, here's the one game that I think that's going to make New England season. They play Thursday night against the Rams. If they win that game, I think they win out because you know who they finish with? Miami. I think they would beat Miami. They get the Jets and then Buffalo. That's who they finish out with.
Well,
so we'll see.
The Steelers play the Bills in next week, so we're gonna find out real soon.
Good.
So that's a playoff matchup right there.
Yep.
And then talking about the Patriots, I'm just gonna quickly look at their schedule. What's coming up?
I just told you, Dagwood.
I'm gonna be sure. Well, I got them taking an L.
You gonna be sure?
I got them taking an L against those Rams.
It could be possibly.
You got the Patriots taking a loss to the Rams.
It's at LA. They could lose that game on Thursday.
They got a suspect. End of the season, like you stated, at the Dolphins. They got to play the Bills.
Yeah.
The Jets are trying to, tank it for whoever.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. If they can beat the Rams, I think they can run the table. They've already won 4 of their last 5.
They got other teams in front of them, though.
They do. That's the problem. It's like baseball when you got you're like, oh, I'm 2 games back, but it's like, yeah, there's 7 teams within 2 games, and you're like, got to leapfrog 8 teams. It really never works out. I think New England can be one of the first teams that can say, hey, we're going to leapfrog like 4 teams and get in the playoffs. Because they're really only 2 games back, and it's a 4-game sprint. Can they go 4-0 or 3-1? And the other 3 teams go 2-2, 1-3, which is certainly doable because they all got to play each other.
Yeah, it's doable.
I ain't betting on it.
But I thought to say that's well spoken by a Patriot fan. So.
Yeah.
But I mean, for me watching Josh Allen last night, I mean, I hadn't really paid too much attention to him. I know before the season started, talked about potential and different things like that. But Buffalo's been competitive for the most part of this season. I think they suffered one tough loss against the Titans. Other than that, they've been in
Arizona too with the what is it called?
Hail Mary, the collar.
Hail Murray.
Hail Murray.
Hail Murray. But then again, they got a gift because Cam Newton fumbled that he was running into the damn 10-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, but the way he was dropping the ball into the receivers last night, I mean, if he can muster that up, week in and week out, I do see the Bills being a threat. But the AFC, like you said, I think it's funny as it is that I think it's still wide open for a lot of teams to step up in the coming weeks and try to take control of that division. But I like the way he played last night, and if he, it's going to be real interesting to see if he can keep that up. Like Derwin said, he has some inconsistency throwing the football here and there, but I mean, he was dropping the ball in there pretty good last night.
They look good. They got down 7-0, came back, took the lead, and went ahead and cruised to that win. That was a good win last night against a team that's been playing better last night. Also, still missing a lot of pieces, but a team that has been playing well. Anytime you can do a good win on the road, a double-digit win on the road, it's impressive in the NFL. So we'll see about the Bills. 9-3. I've got them going like 11-5. I think they'll be 11-5. They'll win the AFC East. They'll be the 3 seed, and we'll see how it goes. We'll keep it. No, we're going to go to the ice. NHL real quickly. NHL 2021 start. You guys' thoughts? There was a lot of talk, man, that NHL, the owners and the NHLPA, they were fighting, bickering. Like, dude, if you guys are going to start the season, it starts like in 3 weeks. Like, what are you guys doing? Finally, some movement last night, and it looks official today. Going to start the season January 13th on the 2021 season, January 13th, 56 games. They are going to play in each other's arenas. There's some talk they're going to play outside, like in some baseball stadiums for certain teams, like 4 of them, like a Minnesota, a Boston at Fenway Park and things of that nature. So we'll see about that. Last time we saw the NHL, Tampa Bay Lightning, the Ning winning the Stanley Cup. You guys feel good about this, that they're sort of going to keep the same sort of structure and, all the money and economics in hockey are going to stay the same with this COVID shortened season. OG talked about it with the Olympics coming up as well. I'm excited. Look, I want to see all four major sports healthy and playing. And 2021 starts January 13th, 56 game season. I'm all about it. And they're going to try to get out of the bubble. Once again, I'm all for that too, at least trying it.
Yeah, I mean, they had a successful run. I mean, I just think, like, I know some of the issues that they talked about, especially trying to get started, is just we holiday breaks and everything like that, and worried about different spikes here and there. But I think doing a good job in shortening the schedule, pretty much staying on track to what they did in last season. And I had read and them talked about not wanting the playoffs to end up running into the Olympics. So I think they're doing a good job with everything. Obviously, uh,
Well, it'll
just
be
don't
Summer
want
Olympics this year, so they're lucky they don't have to worry about the Winter Olympics, which are usually February-ish. So now you're looking at Summer Olympics more like June, July.
right. I
More
mean,
like July, actually. Yeah.
I think just with everything going on, definitely don't want to see any spikes in COVID and uh, putting stoppage in play and different things like that. I mean, like I said, they did a great job last season. Just hope they can mirror the same thing that happened.
Yeah. Your thoughts, Durbin? With NHL, look like they're going to start January 13th, 56 games. Training camp set to open less than 3 weeks, and I believe the 27th or 28th.
I think it's a good model, good plan. Only biggest obstacle is that they're not going to have a bubble. Teams are not going to be all fixated in one area in Canada, and you're going to have all the teams. So it's this COVID is going to test them. It's test all the sports. So we're just going to have to wait and see. Hopefully it works out. Hopefully with the vaccine, coming at the end of this month and going into next year, it'll help a lot, and they can get the season in. And then when you think about it, the NHL is normally on NBC, and NBC normally has the Olympics. So yeah, they don't want to, have to cancel games. Or I think worst case scenario, they got you say 56 on the table right now.
56, I think. Yep.
In worst case scenario, if they have to, they might have to even shorten that. Well, hopefully they can get the 56 in, and they can go smoothly into the Stanley Cup and then go right into the Olympics.
There's also some talk about realignment with the divisions and things of that nature. So they're trying to work it all out. But it looks like they have some sort of agreement, which is the most important thing between the league and the Players Association on the ice. So we'll keep our eyes and ears open for hockey. And once again, the Tampa Bay Lightning looking real good in the NHL. Real quickly before we get out of here, Floyd Mayweather, Logan Paul, not Jake Paul, scheduled to fight February 20th, 2021. When I first saw it, my son came running to me. He was like, "Oh, it's happening. He's gonna fight Jake Paul." I'm like, "Oh man, are you serious?" And I kept looking. I'm like, "Oh, I don't think that's Jake." And then the story came out. It's Logan, and Logan's the older brother, right? If I'm not mistaken.
You know better than
I
me.
thought so. I thought so.
I have no idea. But anyway, they're scheduled to fight February 20th. You can get in right now, Derwin, pay-per-view. Like, I think it's $29. You want to pay for it right now. It does escalate after the first million. With dates coming up in the future, the price goes up. Pretty much the price goes up the closer you get to the fight. All the way up to like $50. And they call this a super exhibition.
I have never, ever paid for a Mayweather fight. Okay. I am not a fan. I've never been a fan. So I will not be paying for this one.
Well, at least it's going to go the distance. He's not going to knock anybody out, which, a lot of people are sort of, they don't like the fact that he's not a knockout artist, but I'm like, at least you're getting your money's worth. He's going to go all 12 rounds.
Ooh, Mayweather, he's not. Yeah.
Body roll, man.
I can do without it. I love boxing, but he not for me.
Who not for you?
Mayweather.
How come you don't like Mayweather?
Not enough action. You just said it.
No, it's not. Well, it's not even that. I don't like the human being, honestly.
Okay. Well,
I just like the stuff that he does and that he's done off the court, out of the ring. I just don't respect him as a human being. Period.
I had a positive interaction with him. 2008 or 9. It was after the Celtics won it. It was at a gentleman's club in Nashville, Tennessee, and guess who was there?
I believe it. He own a couple. He owns a couple of Vegas.
No, he doesn't. I don't know if he owns any, but he owns
one.
Yeah. we were at Deja Vu in Nashville, and he was very nice. Hooked me
I
up.
bet he was.
Yeah, he brought me
He was in his
drinks. Yeah.
element.
Let me come hang out with him for a little bit. So yeah, that's a true story too. Floyd Mayweather, like 12 years ago.
I believe it.
Your thoughts? Oh, go ahead. Kev?
Get there and win a money team hat.
Yeah, TMT.
TMT.
OG, who you got? You got Logan Paul. You got Mayweather. I think. Look at the size. I think we just showed the graphic. Like Logan Paul's like 6'2".
What is size got to do with anything?
Dude, I know Mayweather's gonna beat him, but
hold on.
But okay, if you fought a guy that's like 6'5" and 300 pounds, what you gonna do?
Hold on. Time out. I don't care for Mayweather, but I do respect that he is a tremendous boxer.
Sure.
If other professionals can't hit this guy, who's this guy? I don't care how big he is. He gonna hit him? Mayweather's slick.
Right.
He gonna roll off the ropes and all kind. Come on, you're not hitting him.
But is he gonna knock him out? That's the question. We all think Mayweather.
How you gonna knock him out? Is Mayweather gonna knock this guy?
He knocked out McGregor, and McGregor's actually a real fighter.
He's an MMA fighter.
Well, but he's a fighter. I mean, he's not a boxer. That's why I said fighter. I didn't say boxer. That's why I said fighter. Impeccable word, brother. I chose them carefully.
I mean, beyond boxing, Mayweather changed the game. I mean, just simply by his name, money. Floyd Money Mayweather. I mean, he
left top rank and said, "Man, I'm doing pay-per-views, paying for me."
Hey, I mean, and that's the thing. I think even you got to give some credit to the Paul brothers. I mean, they know how to get to the money too. I mean, why not? If you want to get the bag, you go get Mayweather. I mean, is he gonna lose? Of course not. Like, I mean, is he gonna knock out the Paul brother? No. Like, I think.
Well, you don't think so?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I think because this is our entertainment value. I mean, I think you got, of course, you bring in the best of both worlds when you talk about entertainment. You bring in the boxing world and the YouTube world. I mean, and the Paul brothers, they don't lack for holding it down on the YouTube side. So I think they all gonna get the money together. Now the thing about it is, do I think the Paul brother guy, and he is the oldest, Logan is the oldest.
Okay.
Do I think he has the power potentially? If he was to connect on Mayweather, yes.
Takes one.
But
you gotta catch him first.
Yeah, hey, that's what I was gonna say. I mean, Floyd has been. He doesn't woo everybody. I think Floyd has always been more about the boxing purists. Me, I like brawlers. I like watching knockouts. I like
pugilist.
Yeah, I don't care for the being tactical in the ring. So I just think it's gonna be all for the bag. Either way, both gonna walk away with a nice paycheck and call it a day. I mean, luckily for myself, I don't have to pay for it. So that's the only thing. But I think it's gonna be entertaining. It's definitely gonna be so much hype around it. I mean, it's gonna be incredible.
All right, last question. Will it end in a knockout? Because I think Floyd he's got to do this for the culture, as we like to call it, right? He's got to sort of get back the respect for a black man in the ring against these YouTube stars. He's got to do it for the whole race. Is he going to knock him out?
No.
Y'all don't think so?
I don't think Floyd for the culture. Floyd, the culture for Floyd is money.
Yeah, he's on the green side, right? He cares about the green people.
Yeah. I can see where Derwin say, like, the flamboyant, the cocky, the arrogance of Floyd. I mean, I can see where he rub a lot of people the wrong way, but but I think Floyd about the money. He makes he doesn't disguise anything. He lets you know. I mean, he all about the money and the dream, the life that most people dream about.
Sure. Yeah. At Durbin, knockout, yes or no?
I think so.
Derwin probably want to see Floyd get knocked out.
He's got to, right?
I want to see Floyd in the octagon is what I want to see.
I know Derwin would still get knocked out.
You're not going to get that. My thing is, if you're Floyd Mayweather, you are a professional boxer, arguably the greatest of all time, at least one of the greatest of all time. You're fighting an amateur, and you can't get him out of there? Now, I know you're 43. Jake Paul is like 24, 25. So he's got like 18, 19 years on Floyd. A lot bigger. But Floyd, you got to knock him out.
Accumulation of punches,
that might be in the contract. Don't make me look bad.
But you got to
Hey.
figure one guy's
Right.
one guy's a professional, the other guy's an amateur.
Right.
How many rounds are we going? You know, how many 2-minute rounds, 3-minute rounds? You know,
I would say probably 3 minute rounds and 6 to 8
because
rounds, right?
the Tyson one was 2-minute rounds, and they went 8.
Yeah.
That's a difference.
If he was fighting a Twitch dude, it'd be first round knockout.
And at the end of the day, Floyd to me is fast enough and is skilled enough. He
Yeah.
can put him away with accumulation. It is not going to be one shot. It's going to be accumulation of shots.
That's why I said just get him out of there. I don't care how you do it. Get his ass out of there. That's all I'm asking for Floyd Mayweather. Let's get out here real quickly in 30 seconds. Compete Forever on Black News Channel this weekend, episode 28, Saturday and Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Eastern on Black News Channel. You can get it on Dish Network, Comcast, Xfinity, also Charter, Spectrum, and DirecTV, ATT Uverse, channel 342 on DirecTV. Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern, Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern, and 6 p.m. Eastern. Actually, Saturday and Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Eastern, episode 28. University of Pittsburgh, Johnstown. It's University of Pittsburgh NBA 2K21 Championship. Myself and A. Willie will be on the call airing this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern and 6 p.m. Eastern. Any final thoughts before we get out of here, guys?
Shout out to just the whole Black News Channel network. I mean, y'all been putting out good stuff week in and week out, and I just been enjoying it.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Shout out to the Black News Channel. Absolutely doing some good stuff, man. Definitely Truth Illuminated down there, serving the African American community. A Willie, not A Willie. D Dubs, any thoughts? A Willie's gonna be on the show tomorrow.
It's probably gonna get ready for this game tonight. See what they looking like. I guess Lamar's playing with the Ravens, so
Yep.
I'm
see
looking forward to the Jalen Hurts filibuster tomorrow.
Boy, I think we're all in agreement. He should start. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow. I mean, clearly he should start. I mean, Carson Wentz hasn't played well. Looks punched.
With the word is Carson done came and went.
Yeah. I don't know what happened to that guy, man. He has never been the same since the injury, and it's just mind blowing to me.
3 of the last 4 years, he's had some sort of issue in December, injuries or ineffectiveness. So you're right.
Yeah.
Guys, it's been a great show, man. Thanks to Coach K, Kevin Mamuzet back there, Compete Forever, the founder, pushing all the right buttons. D-Dubs, Sterling Warrail, Dag Wood. Ivan OG Curtis out there flying with them Dayton Flyers, and OHIO Snoopy, hang on. I'm Larry Ridley. I got to hit the work to SNY. See you guys. Thanks for watching esportsXTRA, the only live call-in sports show talking traditional sports, esports, and gaming. See you tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern, right here, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. See you tomorrow. Make it a good one.